Chosen one, pause right here and let your spirit listen, because what is reaching you right now is not random at all. It is divinely targeted and heaven authorized. This message found you because God himself has been pressing urgently on your heart, calling your attention in a way you can no longer ignore. You are not just hearing words, your soul is responding to a spiritual frequency that was designed specifically for you. God is saying, "My child, I refuse to let you fall." And those words are shaking the atmosphere around your life. You have stepped into a moment where heaven has drawn near and is demanding your awareness. There is a divine alert hovering over your life, a spiritual siren sounding because God has tied his own victory to yours, declaring that when you lose, he loses. This means your battle is not isolated, not personal, not something you face alone, but a war heaven has chosen to fight with you and for you. The pressure you've been under is not evidence of failure. It is evidence that something enormous is shifting in your favor. You can feel the change rising like a storm that is about to break open the sky above your destiny. God is whispering, "I cannot allow you to fail because too much purpose is attached to your name." Write 777 in the comments section. You have been wounded, delayed, discouraged, and pushed to the edge, yet every attack has only confirmed how dangerous your future is to the kingdom of darkness. The enemy tried to bury your spirit beneath exhaustion, fear, and confusion, hoping you would surrender before the breakthrough arrived. But what he didn't understand is that your pain was the prophecy of your promotion, a sacred sign that elevation was already on its way to you. Your tears have been counted, your prayers have been gathered, and your endurance has become a weapon. God refuses to let his chosen one be defeated when the story is only beginning to unfold. Before we go deeper into this life-altering message, take one simple step of faith that aligns your spirit with what heaven is doing right now. Pause for a moment, breathe deeply, and acknowledge that this message is not entertainment, but a divine appointment orchestrated for your breakthrough. This is your moment to show heaven you are ready, willing, and open to receive the revelation prepared for you. Declare your presence by connecting, supporting, and activating this prophetic word. What you do in this moment sends a frequency into the spiritual realm, signaling that you are ready to receive clarity, strength, and transformation. Chosen one, if something in you is stirring, rising, vibrating under the surface, that is not coincidence. That is confirmation. You did not stumble here by chance, but by divine direction, because God has been gently whispering your name through signs, dreams, feelings, and inner nudges. The same God who called you here is the God who has already written your victory long before you saw the battle. The message you are receiving is not for everyone. Only those awakened in spirit will understand the weight of what is coming. Stay here, because heaven is preparing to reveal why God has refused to let you fail. The calling on your life is immense, and the responsibility attached to it is far greater than anything you have ever imagined. When you hesitate, it is not just your progress that stalls, but the divine plan connected to your life. You were not created to exist silently or shrink in fear, but to rise boldly into the identity God placed inside you since birth. Your purpose is woven into the destiny of others, meaning your rise contributes to the rise of many. This is why failure is not permitted in your story, because your life carries a divine ripple effect that heaven cannot afford to lose. Every time you delay stepping into your purpose, the world waits a little longer for the light you were meant to release. Every time you doubt yourself, heaven has to wait for you to see what God already sees in you. God has invested gifts, authority, spiritual sensitivity, and a specific mission into your very soul, and those treasures are not meant to sit unused. The calling you carry is not optional. It is a divine mandate tied to the healing, awakening, and transformation of others. You were not chosen casually, but intentionally, deliberately, and prophetically. Understand this truth. God never calls the unprepared. He prepares the chosen. Everything you need, courage, wisdom, strength, insight, has already been placed within you in seed form. Your life has been a series of divine preparations, leading you precisely to this moment of awakening. What felt like loss was training, what felt like confusion was alignment, and what felt like delay was protection. You are more ready than you realize, because God has been shaping you quietly, day by day, season by season. This moment you are standing in is not accidental, it is divine timing. You have reached the threshold of transformation, the doorway God has been guiding you toward through every challenge you faced. Nothing about your journey has been wasted. Not a tear, not a disappointment, not a setback. Every experience carved strength into your spirit and wisdom into your mind. You are now stepping into the fullness of a destiny that has been waiting for your recognition. There is no more room for shrinking back, no more time to question your worth or readiness. God has already declared you prepared, capable, powerful, and anointed for what comes next. Heaven has already voted on your victory, and the result is guaranteed. What remains is your willingness to step forward with belief instead of fear. You must now become the version of yourself God always intended you to be. Do not underestimate the magnitude of your calling. The world cannot afford your silence, your hesitation, or your doubt. The gift you carry is needed by someone, somewhere, in a way only you can provide. Your voice, your presence, your purpose, they are not replaceable, and heaven's timeline is waiting for you to activate them. You were not chosen to blend in, but to stand out with divine authority. The universe has already aligned itself to support your rise. Doors are prepared to open, opportunities are waiting with your name on them, and breakthroughs are positioned right ahead of you. But they activate only when you move, when you believe, when you decide to trust God's preparation. Your destiny responds to action, not hesitation. This is the season where faith becomes movement, and movement becomes breakthrough. Fear will whisper, but faith will roar louder. Doubt will try to cloud your vision, but God's promise will illuminate your path. The voices that once held you back will lose their power as your spirit awakens to its true identity. You have been conditioned, trained, refined, and strengthened for such a time as this. The moment you take your first step, momentum will carry you further than you ever imagined. Understand this with your whole being. You are chosen, marked, and divinely protected. No weapon formed against you can prosper because heaven is invested in your victory. You walk with a spiritual authority that cannot be broken because it was given by God Himself. When you speak, mountains move. When you rise, darkness trembles. When you believe, miracles unfold. You are not ordinary, you are appointed. This calling is not merely an invitation, but a divine command that carries heaven's full endorsement. When God calls you, He equips you with every tool needed to succeed spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. The challenges ahead are not signs that you are unqualified. They are indicators of how powerful your destiny is. The weight of your mission is heavy, but it is not meant to break you. It is meant to elevate you. God trusts you with this assignment because He knows your true strength. Your path may be steep at times, but you are not walking it alone. Every step you take is accompanied by God's presence, His guidance, His wisdom, and His supernatural strength. Even when your confidence wavers, His assurance remains firm. Even when your faith trembles, His promise stays unshaken. You are carried by a divine support system that never weakens. Chosen one, this is your awakening. This is the moment where you rise from doubt into destiny. This message is not just encouragement, it is activation. God is calling you into your next level, and He will not allow you to fail because too much purpose is attached to your life. You are stepping into a season where heaven fights for you, guides you, and elevates you. Let your spirit receive this truth. Your victory is already written. Nothing can stop what God has ordained for you. The world is waiting for the version of you that God has prepared in secret. Rise now, because heaven has declared it is your time. You are chosen, and nothing will change that. You are stepping into a moment where heaven's preparation meets earthly manifestation, and nothing about this season is accidental or uncertain. Every challenge you survived was a divine classroom, shaping your spirit with a strength that can no longer be shaken. You learned endurance, not from comfort but from pressure, and that endurance has become one of your greatest spiritual weapons. God has been walking beside you, even in the moments you felt abandoned, guiding your steps through darkness, to train your eyes to see the light. Now the time has come for everything you've learned to become the foundation of your rising. You are not starting from emptiness, you are rising from divine preparation. Every scar carries wisdom, every tear carries clarity, and every setback carries a hidden revelation that now belongs to you. Nothing you endured was wasted, because God does not allow his chosen ones to suffer without purpose. What tried to destroy you only sharpened the gifts that heaven placed inside you. You are stronger, wiser, and more spiritually aware than you have ever been. Your life was never a series of random events. It has always been a strategically designed journey, aligned with your calling. The people who left, the doors that closed, the opportunities that passed, were all part of God's higher calculation. He removed what would have polluted your purpose and blocked what would have distracted your spirit. You may have misunderstood the process, but heaven never miscalculates. God was not depriving you, he was positioning you. The burden you carried was heavy, but that heaviness was shaping you into someone spiritually unbreakable. While others doubted you, heaven was investing in you, pouring strength into places you didn't even realize were weak. When you thought you were falling apart, God was piecing together a stronger, clearer, more powerful version of you. Every moment of pressure was building spiritual muscle inside of you. Now you are equipped in ways you only understand when you look back and realize you survived what should have destroyed you. This is why God refuses to let you fail, because everything you endured has already qualified you for what comes next. You have been prepared, refined, and spiritually engineered to carry the weight of your destiny. What looked like setbacks were divine rehearsals for your future elevation. What felt like loss was heaven clearing the path for something greater. What seemed like delays were God aligning the timing so that nothing could steal the victory reserved for your name. Your destiny has been calling out to you louder with every season, and now the sound is unmistakable. The more you tried to run from your purpose, the louder the calling became. God has been chasing you with grace, surrounding you with signs, and pushing you forward even when you felt too weak to move. You were never abandoned. You were being guided. Now the calling is erupting in your spirit, because it is finally time for release. You may not feel fully ready, but readiness is not a feeling. Readiness is a decision wrapped in faith. God has already given you everything you need spiritually, mentally, and emotionally to walk into this next chapter. The uncertainty you feel is simply the threshold between who you were and who you are becoming. Your spirit is expanding, stretching, awakening to a new dimension of purpose. This is the moment where hesitation must turn into movement. You carry a spiritual authority that you have not fully embraced yet. This authority was formed through adversity, shaped through spiritual warfare, and strengthened through every test. You have been given the power to declare, to command, to break, to build, and to transform. This authority is not arrogance, it is inheritance. You are a child of God, and with that identity comes dominion over the storms that once threatened you. When you start to walk in your authority, everything around you begins to shift. Doors open where walls used to stand. Opportunities appear where deserts once surrounded you. People who once doubted you will be forced to witness the evidence of God's favor on your life. The spiritual atmosphere changes as soon as you recognize the power that has always been inside you. Creation responds when a chosen one rises. The doubts you hear are not reflections of your truth. They are echoes of old fears, trying to survive in a new season. Fear will always attempt to cling to a person who is about to ascend. But fear cannot stand where purpose is activated. Doubt cannot remain where identity is awakened. You are stepping into a version of yourself that fear no longer recognizes. God has already declared you ready for the next level, and his declaration outweighs your hesitation. Heaven sees your potential with perfect clarity, even when your own vision is clouded. God knows what you can handle because he is the one who shaped you for it. When he says you are prepared, that is final. Your job is simply to agree with what heaven already believes about you. There are assignments waiting for your obedience, breakthroughs waiting for your yes, and divine opportunities waiting for your courage. Your calling is not small. It is designed to influence, uplift, and transform more lives than you realize. You carry a message, a presence, and a spiritual light that someone desperately needs. Your obedience is the key that unlocks blessings, not only for you but for others connected to your destiny. This is why hesitation is not an option. The world will shift when you step into who you were always meant to be. Someone's healing, someone's clarity, someone's transformation is tied to your rising. You are not just walking into purpose, you are walking into impact. Your life carries a divine assignment encoded into your spirit since birth, and now that assignment is activating with urgency. Understand this deeply. Your destiny cannot be completed by anyone but you. Your gifts cannot be duplicated, your voice cannot be replaced, your presence cannot be substituted. You are the missing piece in a divine plan that has been unfolding for generations. Heaven has waited for your awakening because too much is attached to your existence. You were chosen because your spirit carries something no one else carries. God will not allow you to shrink into the background of your own story. You were not made to hide, to retreat, or to remain silent. You were created to stand boldly, to shine brightly, and to move confidently in your divine identity. The world needs your courage, your wisdom, your testimony, and your rising. Everything in creation is waiting for you to step forward. Your spirit is being strengthened right now, because the next chapter requires a version of you that is bold, grounded, and awakened. God is removing old fears, breaking old chains, and dissolving old doubts, because they cannot travel with you into this next level. You are being renewed in your mind, uplifted in your soul, and fortified in your spirit. This is your preparation for elevation. You are stepping into divine alignment. Chosen one, this is your moment. The shift you feel is not anxiety, it is activation. The weight on your heart is not pressure, it is purpose. The stirring in your spirit is not confusion. Heaven is calling, and you are finally ready to answer. Your rising begins now. You are stepping into a new dimension of purpose, and with it comes a level of spiritual authority that you have only begun to understand. The storms you survived were not meant to harm you, but to activate a power within you that could not have been awakened in calm seasons. God allowed certain battles because he knew they would sharpen your discernment, deepen your faith, and strengthen your resolve. Every attack that came against you was secretly preparing you to carry greater glory. Now you are rising with a spiritual weight that heaven has entrusted to you alone. The reason your journey has been so difficult is because the calling on your life is extraordinary. You were not chosen for an ordinary destiny, and ordinary opposition could never refine you for what is coming. The spiritual warfare you endured was a sign of the magnitude of your assignment. You are stepping into a level where your voice, your presence, and your obedience will break chains off others. This is why God refused to let you fail. Too much purpose rests on your life. Every season of isolation was a divine classroom where God taught you what crowds could never teach you. In silence, he spoke to your heart with clarity. In loneliness, he shaped your character with precision. In hidden seasons, he prepared your gifts without distraction. And now you are emerging from that quietness, carrying wisdom that can only be birthed through divine intimacy. You were never meant to walk the same path as those around you. because your calling requires a different level of spiritual depth. God separated you from certain people not to punish you, but to protect you. He removed voices that would have drowned out his guidance. He closed doors that would have weakened your foundation. Every separation was a divine strategy for spiritual survival. You are stepping into a destiny that requires supernatural focus. This is why your spirit feels restless. It is not anxiety, it is awakening. What you once tolerated, you can no longer accept, because your spirit is evolving into its higher purpose. You are outgrowing old environments, old mindsets, and old versions of yourself. This transformation is not accidental, it is divinely timed. Your spirit knows it is being called to rise. The heaviness you feel is not defeat. It is the weight of glory settling on your life. God is placing a mantle on your shoulders that only the chosen can carry. This mantle comes with responsibility, but it also comes with supernatural assistance. If God gives a calling, he also assigns angels to support it. You are not carrying this alone. Heaven is walking with you. The moment you step fully into your purpose, everything around you will begin to shift in ways that defy logic. Obstacles will move, resources will appear, and connections will align with divine precision. The same God who called you is already clearing the path ahead of you. Your steps are being ordered by a power greater than anything that opposes you. You are not stepping into uncertainty, you are stepping into destiny. Do not underestimate the spiritual authority resting within you. When you speak, heaven listens, and darkness retreats. When you walk, angels accompany you. When you decide, heaven approves. You are not moving in your own strength, but in divine empowerment. The authority you carry is inherited from God himself. Fear will try to trick you into believing you are unprepared, but fear always strikes hardest at those who are closest to breakthrough. Your spirit is shifting into a frequency that fear cannot tolerate. The more you rise, the weaker fear becomes. The enemy has already lost the battle. He is only trying to distract you from your victory. But your spirit knows the truth. Your time has come. You are entering a season where your obedience will unlock blessings that have been waiting for you for years. Every step of faith you take will activate spiritual rewards. Every decision to trust God will open a door that once felt impossible to access. Heaven is responding to your movement, because movement is the language of faith. This is your moment of divine acceleration. Your rising is not just for you, it is for everyone connected to your purpose. Your healing will heal others. Your courage will inspire others. Your transformation will become a blueprint for people who could not see a way forward. God is making you a vessel of change, restoration, and awakening. Your destiny impacts more lives than you realize. God will begin to reveal things to you that others cannot see or understand. Your discernment will sharpen. Your intuition will strengthen. Your spiritual sight will expand. You will begin to feel things before they happen, sense danger before it appears, and recognize blessings before they manifest. This is the mark of a chosen one, stepping into alignment. You are stepping into a season of divine clarity, where your mind will no longer be clouded by confusion. The fog is lifting, and your spirit is stabilizing. The doubt that once overwhelmed you will begin to fade as God highlights your next steps with supernatural precision. This clarity is a sign that breakthrough is near. You are being guided into purpose with undeniable direction. The weight of your past will no longer have authority over your future. Every wound, every failure, every disappointment is being transformed into spiritual fuel. What once held you back will now propel you forward. The version of you that once struggled is being replaced with the version God always intended. You are evolving, and heaven is applauding your ascent. You are entering a new spiritual identity, stronger, wiser, bolder, and more aligned than ever before. This new identity carries divine confidence that cannot be shaken by circumstances. You will walk differently, speak differently, and think differently, because you are no longer operating from survival, but from destiny. This is the birth of your true self. Heaven is preparing a release of blessings that will confirm everything you have gone through was worth it. These blessings are not random, they are targeted, intentional, and tailored to your calling. They will arrive at the perfect time, and when they do, you will understand why the wait was necessary. God is never late, He is precise. Your reward season is already unfolding. Chosen one, you are standing at the threshold of elevation, and nothing will stop what God has ordained. You are ready, prepared, and spiritually equipped for what comes next. The shifting you feel is heaven rearranging things on your behalf. The breakthrough you sense is closer than your breath. This is your moment to rise. The world has been waiting for the version of you that is awakening right now. The chosen one, the powerful one, the spiritually aligned one. You are stepping into your divine identity with a strength that cannot be denied. Rise with confidence, because heaven has spoken. Your destiny is calling, and your spirit is answering. You are stepping into a season where heaven is about to reveal the true magnitude of the calling placed on your life. Everything around you has been shifting because God has been rearranging your environment to match your destiny. People are changing, circumstances are moving, and doors are opening or closing with divine precision. None of this is accidental, it is supernatural alignment. Your spirit can sense that something is rising within you, something sacred, powerful and unstoppable. This is not the time to retreat into old habits or old fears, because the version of you that God has been building is finally ready to emerge. You have been functioning below your spiritual capacity for too long, and heaven is calling you higher. The mantle on your life requires a new level of confidence, discipline, awareness, and spiritual authority. You have no idea how powerful you truly are, but God is about to show you. Your identity is expanding beyond who you were into who you were destined to become. The heaviness you once carried is beginning to lift, because God is breaking the chains that kept you bound to seasons that no longer match your future. Old emotional patterns are dissolving, old wounds are closing, old insecurities are losing their grip. You are being revived from the inside out, not through your own strength, but through divine intervention. This is spiritual reconstruction, and heaven is the architect. Every difficulty you overcame has been woven into your spiritual DNA, giving you strength that cannot be taught and endurance that cannot be purchased. You walked through places that others would have collapsed in, and yet you are still standing. That alone is proof that God's hand has always been on your life. He carried you in moments you didn't even realize you needed help. You survived because your destiny demanded it. Your spirit is now entering a phase of supernatural acceleration, where what took years will now take moments. Delays are being reversed. Stagnation is breaking. Opportunities are rushing toward you with divine urgency. This is the reward for your perseverance in seasons of silence. God is making up for lost time, and the speed of your breakthrough will surprise you. You are stepping into a level of spiritual clarity that will expose every lie the enemy ever fed you. You will see yourself clearly for the first time, not through the lens of pain, fear, or failure, but through the truth of God's purpose. You are chosen, powerful, and divinely anointed. Your worth is not up for debate, and your purpose is not optional. You are stepping into your authentic identity. The moments where you felt unseen were actually moments where God was hiding you for protection. He shielded you from battles that were not yours to fight, and from people who were not meant to go with you. He protected your spirit while He prepared your future. Now the covering is lifting, not because the danger is gone, but because God has strengthened you to stand in places you were once too vulnerable for. Your discernment is becoming sharper, because the next level requires a deeper awareness of spiritual truth. You will begin to notice things you once overlooked, feel things you once ignored, and sense things before they manifest. This is not paranoia, it is spiritual sensitivity. God is training your spirit to move with precision, wisdom, and foresight. You are being prepared for greater influence and responsibility. Your calling will demand courage, because you are stepping into realms of favor that others may not understand. Some will question your rise, but they will not be able to deny the evidence of God's hand on your life. Others will feel intimidated by your growth, but their discomfort is not your responsibility. You are not rising to be accepted. You are rising to fulfill your divine assignment. Heaven validates you. People do. As you elevate, God will bring new connections into your life. People whose spirits align with yours. You will be drawn to those who speak your spiritual language, understand your vision, and support your destiny. The days of entertaining, draining relationships are over. God is replacing misalignment with divine partnership, and these connections will accelerate your purpose. Opportunities are about to appear that you didn't chase, ask for, or expect. These are gifts from God, rewards for your endurance and obedience. They will not require manipulation, begging, or forcing. What is yours will arrive effortlessly because heaven is releasing it directly into your path. When God opens a door, no one can close it. You are entering a season where your spiritual voice will carry weight in ways it never has before. When you speak, things will shift. When you pray, things will break. When you declare, things will move. Your words carry authority because they are backed by heaven. This is why God has refined your voice through hardship, so that when you speak now, you speak with power. You will begin to feel a boldness rising within you, one that refuses to bow to fear or uncertainty. This boldness is not arrogance. It is holy confidence. It is God awakening the warrior inside you. The timid version of you is gone. The hesitant version of you is gone. You are stepping into your spiritual adulthood, equipped with divine authority and unwavering faith. God is about to elevate you to places where your old mindset cannot survive. You must walk into these new levels with trust, surrender, and obedience. This is not the time to question your worth or overthink your steps. God is guiding you with precision, and all He requires is your yes. When you say yes, heaven moves. Your breakthrough will not just bless you, it will shift your entire atmosphere. It will touch your family, your future relationships, your finances, and your purpose. Generational patterns will break. Cycles will end. Chains will fall. Your victory will create a ripple effect that transforms everything connected to you. This is bigger than you. You are stepping into a frequency of abundance, clarity, and divine alignment that your past self could not have handled. Everything you lost is being restored with interest. Everything you mourned is being replaced with something greater. Everything you thought was over is being resurrected in a higher form. God is rewriting your story. Chosen one, you are rising into a spiritual power that cannot be hidden anymore. The world needs the version of you that God has been forming in secret. Step forward with courage, with certainty, with faith. Heaven has declared it. Your elevation has begun. Nothing can stop what God has ordained for you. You are stepping into a season where heaven is not just opening doors for you, but escorting you through them with divine force. The spiritual energy surrounding your life is shifting from preparation to manifestation, and nothing can block what God has already declared over you. All the barriers that once stood in your way are crumbling under the weight of God's command. The resistance you faced is breaking because the anointing on your life has become too strong to be contained. You are rising now with unstoppable momentum. The blessings that were delayed are now being released without restriction because the time finally matches your maturity. Blessings withheld during your unprepared seasons are now flowing because you are ready to steward them with wisdom. What once seemed far out of reach is now entering your life with divine accuracy. Every area that felt barren is about to overflow with abundance. You are stepping into a flood of blessings tailored specifically for your calling. God is about to surround you with opportunities that match the fullness of your purpose, not the smallness of your past. Doors that were too big before will now feel perfectly sized for your new identity. You will walk into rooms you once thought you didn't belong in, yet heaven has been saving those seats for you all along. You will stand in places your younger self could not have imagined. This is the manifestation of divine elevation. The favor on your life will become undeniable, even to those who doubted you. People who once overlooked you will witness your rise with amazement, unable to deny the evidence of God's hand on your life. Those who spoke against you will fall silent as they see God vindicate you publicly. Your obedience in private is being rewarded in ways that will shock your surroundings. God is making your elevation visible. You are about to experience divine acceleration, where years of slow progress will be redeemed in days. What once moved painfully slow will suddenly shift rapidly because the season has changed. God is placing you on a path where breakthroughs come one after another. You will see doors, favor, and blessings lining up, like dominoes falling perfectly into place. This is supernatural momentum designed specifically for you. Your mind is being renewed so that you can think, speak, and move at the level God is elevating you to. Old patterns of fear, lack, and limitation have no place in the life you are entering. You will begin to think with clarity, dream with boldness, and act with faith-driven confidence. Your new mindset will attract new opportunities because your spirit is now aligned with abundance. You are stepping into mental victory. Your spirit is awakening in a way that will allow you to walk in your calling with certainty, not hesitation. The days of questioning your worth are over. The season of doubting your gifts has ended. You will now move with a knowing that your steps are guided, your purpose is protected, and your destiny is inevitable. This inner confidence is a sign of spiritual maturity. God is magnifying your gifts so they can shine in places where they will have maximum impact. You are not rising for attention, you are rising for assignment. Your talent is a tool, your presence is a vessel, and your purpose is a divine instrument. God is positioning you where your light will break chains, awaken hearts, and shift atmospheres. You were born to influence. Everything you touch in this season will begin to prosper because God's favor is becoming your environment. Your ideas will flourish. Your decisions will be guided. Your steps will be ordered. Your efforts will multiply. You will see success with ease because heaven is partnering with your movement. The relationships entering your life now will support, uplift, and align with your divine identity. God is removing every draining, distracting, and destructive connection from your path. He is replacing them with kingdom relationships that add strength to your purpose. People who match your spirit, honor your calling, and contribute to your growth are being sent directly to you. You are stepping into relational alignment. The influence you are about to walk in is not ordinary. It is divinely appointed. Your presence will bring peace. Your words will carry power. Your decisions will shape environments. God is elevating your influence so you can impact lives in ways that bring glory to Him. You are becoming a vessel of divine transformation. You are stepping into a season where supernatural provision will follow you. Resources will appear unexpectedly. Help will arrive from places you least expect. Opportunities will chase you rather than you chasing them. God is making provision easy in this season because the assignment requires your focus, not your struggle. He is removing the weight of survival so you can embrace the call. You will walk with a spiritual authority that demands respect from both the physical and spiritual realms. Demons will recognize your presence. Obstacles will submit to your words. Darkness will retreat when your spirit enters a space. This authority is not arrogance. It is the mark of a chosen vessel. God has crowned you with power. Every area of your life is about to elevate to match the calling God has placed within you. Your finances will increase. Your opportunities will multiply. Your connections will flourish. Your peace will deepen. Your spiritual insight will heighten. This elevation is comprehensive, because God does not elevate parts. He elevates the whole vessel. The enemy will try to discourage you in this season, but his attempts will fail because your spirit is fortified. Every lie he speaks will crumble under truth. Every fear he tries to plant will wither under faith. Every obstacle he sets will be demolished under divine authority. You are too aligned, too anointed, and too protected to be stopped now. You are stepping into the version of yourself that God has been preparing since the beginning. This version is wise, powerful, confident, healed, and spiritually awakened. This version walks with authority. This version speaks with clarity. This version moves with purpose. You are finally becoming who heaven always knew you were, chosen one. This is your season of unstoppable elevation. The world has not yet seen the fullness of what God is about to reveal through you. Everything you lost will return multiplied. Everything you prayed for will manifest with power. Everything you feared will bow to your destiny. You are rising into greatness that cannot be denied. Rise with boldness, chosen one. Heaven is backing you, purpose is calling you, and destiny is awaiting your next step. Your elevation cannot be stopped. You are ready, you are chosen, you are unstoppable. God has decreed your victory, and now the world will witness it.